months you need to register with the police or the council or something. But other university will tell you what you need to do, but you have to just make sure you follow what they ask you to do. So they say, okay, because the semester is 4 months, you need to register here because it goes over the 3-month limit, for example. So you just sign that you've understood all of those things. And then we're just going to have a form for your emergency contact details. So just tell us here if you know where you're going to stay while you're overseas and who we can contact in an emergency. And we will try and put you in contact with the students who have come back from exchange or are just about to come back and ask them if they want to do some mentoring for the students about to go out. So hopefully they can answer some of your questions as well. And you should get in touch with Student Finance England if you haven't done so already and say, I have now been accepted for a year for a semester abroad, because that changes your agreement with them, because the standard one is that you sign something to say that I'm going to stay in the UK for my whole duration of my degree. So when it changes and you've been accepted somewhere, you should tell them that now I have a change of circumstance and I'm going to go abroad. Yeah?
What if you haven't been accepted somewhere?
Yes. So are you about to apply for next year now? Or?
Yeah, I need to send off my application to Venice and I didn't get into ARTES and I'm waiting to hear back from Iceland, so right now I'm not necessarily.
But have you already applied for student finance, like for next year already? So are you about to do that?
Well, I was going to just wait and see till I got
okay.
it.
So I've heard from some students that the Student Finance England have actually advised them to apply for the study abroad already, but that's not, I can't give you official advice on that because it's completely outside the university, so you need to call them and ask what they suggest, because to me it would seem it could be fraudulent to say that you're gonna, yes, I'm gonna go abroad, and then you don't get in, because they're probably gonna, on the Student Finance England brochure that we have here, you can see here that you can be eligible to apply for more money if you're going abroad, so living and studying abroad for at least 1 semester. You can borrow 6,900, but if you stay outside of London and not living with parents, it's like 5,000, like standard. So if they offer you a higher maintenance loan based on the fact that you're studying abroad, and then you don't actually get in anywhere. So for me personally, I would probably say I'm studying in England until I get accepted. But I have heard that they have advised students otherwise, so maybe give them a call, but that's up to you. It's not the university, it's the Student Finance England. Yeah.
But we don't necessarily need this money to study abroad.
No, this is like if you're involved with Students Finance England, if you have already got the maintenance loan, so you're already borrowing money from them. Yeah.
But we don't necessarily have to borrow more money.
No, but you should still tell them, because in the contract that you have, it says like probably a clause to say my degree is undertaken in the UK and it doesn't include an internship or it doesn't include the study abroad period. So when it changes and now it's going to include study abroad, then you should tell them that you have a change of circumstance.
Should I just apply, because I don't want it to be too late to come in, because obviously they might tell me like in June whether or not I got a place abroad. Then I apply for my student finance now, and then just call them up if I do get in and say.
The application date's like 29th of May, so you probably do it now.
Mine automatically rolled me over, so they wouldn't apply for me, and then so I gave them a call because I said I'd applied to do this thing. And they just said that call them if I get accepted.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've heard both. I mean, for me it would make more sense to do what you do, just apply and then change it after if you're accepted. But there was a couple of students who got another advice when they called student financing up. So, but it's their decision. I mean, it's their procedures. So, but yeah, probably I would advise you to just go ahead and apply before the deadline and everything. And then if you get in and you're definitely going, you're definitely like I want to take up my place, then you call them again and say, I want to now study abroad as part of my degree. And then they will give you a form that you take to me to get it confirmed that you're going to go study abroad, or we can send them a letter as well. If you're not around, you can let us know that we need to send them a letter. But I will have to hear from you that you want me to send that letter, because you have a contract with them, so you do what you have to do with them, and then you tell me, then you just have to confirm the student financing that I'm going to our tests, and here are the terms, and please sign that it's all okay.
I'm sorry, is that extra maintenance done on top of the Erasmus funding?
Yeah, so this is their maintenance loan is completely separate to the Erasmus. Yeah. So that's why I need your bank details to pay your Erasmus grant, but then I tell you to get in touch with these people separately because you have a reference number to talk to them about your maintenance. Yeah. And then we have also a language assessment. So if you go to a country like Germany, Spain, France, Italy, Sweden, Czech Republic, a few of the very common destinations for Erasmus, you have access to a language course. So they're going to give you a test at the start of your exchange and one at the end of your exchange, and then you have an online course that you have access to during the exchange. And this is like an extra service from the Erasmus program to see. First, they want to check how your language level improves while you're over there. So it doesn't matter if you don't speak a word of Swedish before you go to Sweden. Just take the test and you fail miserably. And then at the end, you hopefully fail a little bit less miserably and maybe you picked up a few words. And it's just to have like a measurement in place, like how did it impact on your language skills. So there's not like a minimum you have to achieve. And then the course as well is just there for you to be able to learn some of the native language if you want.
Do we do that before we go and do that over there?
So you do it both, like usually it's like a 1 month you have to do the first test, and then at the end as well there's a test. So if you do it before or at the start, doesn't matter if you've already arrived, but
It's not online.
yes, so it will come in your emails. And lots of people struggle with this because the program is the software is not great, so you might have to reset your password and then it doesn't allow you, so it is a bit hassle, but yeah, that's going to happen anyway, so I'm telling you. Yeah.
Do we get extra credit for it?
No, I'm sorry. It's like an extra service. And what we talked about before, that you have to check if the semester dates overlap, then you need to talk to both sides to ensure that you're not going to have a massive problem with arriving a little bit late at Falmouth, or if you can take some earlier handlings at the other university, for example. And for you guys who are going to Australia, you'll be starting and finishing earlier, so you have a period in between that you can actually do what you please. But it might be advisable if you spend some time in the Christmas period, maybe trying to get up to speed with the Falmouth course as well, or if you maybe want to come back in January and have a couple of weeks before the next study block starts, maybe just to get back into the course or something. Probably just advisable for your results, but it's not something that we can demand, so it's up to you.
Okay.
Yeah. And accommodation is of course a big thing, so when you're accepted you should try and start finding a room over there as soon as possible. So most universities in Europe say that you need to find private accommodation, so they probably give you a list of lots of websites that you can look at. Some students don't want to sign up to a place before they've seen it, for example, so in that case you might have to think that, okay, I'm going to stay in a hostel for the first few weeks and find somewhere while I'm over there. That's of course a little bit riskier, but at the same time you're not going to sign a contract before you've seen somewhere, so it could be a benefit as well. Some universities have campus accommodation, so you might have already applied. Even when you put in your application, you might have put in a housing form at the same time to stay on campus, which of course is really good as well. So have you started looking at accommodation yet? No? So of course quite good to try and do this as quickly as possible, but every student almost panics about accommodation at some point, and it usually works out. So don't think, don't stress yourself out too much about it, because it usually tends to resolve itself in the end. And you're only going to stay there for one semester, so don't be like too picky, because we had some students who applied for rooms in Germany, and then they said, oh, it's not nice enough, I want to go to a private accommodation, then that fell through for some reason. They want to go back to student accommodation, and then that was full, and so it's just temporary, so hopefully you can manage for that time, and they will give you good help where to look for accommodation, but ultimately you will need to, make your own decisions about it most of the time. And if you want to try and rent out your Falmouth room while you're away, most of you probably have seen the Facebook page already. Have you gone on to the Facebook? Yeah. In the email that I sent to get you here today, there's a link to the Falmouth page as well.